Hello everyone. Welcome to the Moby Tactics YouTube channel. And yep, this is my first episode, the debut episode basically, and um we won't waste too much time. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you all that are watching this. As you all know, I'm new to this format, but I think it's better for me to be able to get my views across really quickly and a bit more, it's more words. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're able to understand. And we will be reviewing Chelsea versus Palace, Crystal Palace. Let's get straight into it. Um, yeah, the lineup is as you see on the screen. There's a lot to unpack on this, but the surprise, not surprise, but um, we couldn't see Tosin, who would have started this game. We heard the news that he was not going to play this game, and that was the night before. So it meant it was definitely going to be Josh and Chaloba that started the game. And we also heard, so we're not sure whether Eze was going to start the game as well. So Eze was able to start for Palace as well. Um, yeah, so let's get straight into the tactics. Um, so yeah, we could see straight away on the press that Chelsea tried to press man to man, as you can see here. Gittins was on Richards, Joao Pedro on Lacour, um, Neto on Gay, and so on and so forth. Man to man, we're not new to this. Maresca does this all the time, and you could see Chelsea were trying to still play the same way as well. So yeah, we so much so that we also not new to this, seeing Caloba or the centre backs pressing high up onto their attackers when they drop deep. So we saw that from Chelsea. Chelsea's press was really good because Palace didn't really play through it a lot. They went long and Chelsea retrieved the ball when that happened. So I think it was very successful. At times, Palace did manage to get through the press. Yeah, we'll see that here. Palace getting through the press. We see here um, this pass into Hughes from Lacroix. Yeah, we'll see that here. Hughes gets to the ball, and this is the issue. If the structure of the press is there, but the personnel doesn't really execute it. And Enzo was definitely off it yesterday, and you could see Enzo was a bit late to meeting Hughes here. Hughes passes the ball through the corner to AZ. AZ gives him back, so it's a 1-2 here. And here they are able to break through the press and get through and have space, basically. So it didn't happen a lot, but these are the moments where Palace were able to do that to integrate intricate passes and 1-2s. So that's when we didn't guard or press really well. So, but most of the time, Chelsea's press was actually pretty much good enough to make Palace go long. So let's quickly look at the crux of the matter, which, as we've seen since yesterday, is um, the build-up of Chelsea. So here we see it here. Chelsea used the diamond for midfield. Here is a bit more scattered because um, we see here that Kukurea dropped as deep as Caicedo into the pivots. It was not always like this. It was the diamond midfield mostly. And here, all of them are just trying to find space. And Kukurea just dropping deep to help Caicedo out um, in the press of Palace to help him bypass the press, basically. So that is the build up. Let's look at the tactics board to be able to understand it a bit more. So this is how it's really panned out. So Palace Palace's front three were on Chelsea's back three, and this is how mostly it looked like. So Palace, when Acheampong got the ball, Mateta tries to block Caicedo at the same time and attack, um, try to get the ball from Acheampong or pressing, and Sa and Eze try to first block passing lanes before they press Reese and Chalobah. Or here's the back three of Palace. So Enzo looked for space, tried to drop deep. We see this a lot from Maresca's midfielders or tens basically. Enzo dropping wide here to receive the ball and get space to receive that ball. But when he did that, okay, he always, almost all of the time, um, followed him, and that was how compact um, Palace's Palace's off-ball work was. And we also saw similar from Richards and Kukurea. Anytime Kukurea came here to receive the ball, remember I said it was a diamond midfield. Here's a diamond here. Um, there's a diamond here. Yep, you see it here. This is how we saw it. Kukurea was followed by Richards, but that also means that there is a possibility of Joe Pedro to occupy or try to take this space. The wingers are pinning Mitchell and Munoz, the wing back. So there was the possibility for Reeds to give this ball in behind to Joao Pedro, and we saw that a bit of times as well. So let me clear this up. Some examples of this. So uh, here we see more of it. You just see it's Palace's block, the press, like I showed you on the tactics board, and we could see they tried to, a lot of the time, Palmer was covered by these two guys here. So they were trying to block Palmer as well as press Caicedo. You could see Gray here following, let me get this right. Yeah, Gray following Enzo Fernandez. And you can see um, here too as well, these two guys here, Richards and Kukurea. Richards has no reason to press Kukurea right now. So yeah, yeah, that's how we see it. So yeah, th- we saw a lot of the time Chelsea here. You can see when um the two midfielders of Palace were able to press forward and try to cover um Kukurea and Caicedo. That's if when Kukurea dropped into the pivot, we could then see these two. Um, Richards now could press Palmer because Palmer will be free, like we saw in the previous. Um, so we saw Palmer free here, and in that case, it was good for Richards to cover Palmer. Yeah, so it was very compact, very very impressive from Palace, and let's see. So we can see some ways that we try to bypass it. See, is an example of space that we could be able to generate. You can see Richards following Kukurea here. So that's the challenge that we had against a very disciplined and very compact block. So at this point, we saw Josh use his carry to bypass Mateta here, and we could see it again. Josh was able to carry the ball and create a new angle for himself to find Enzo in space. Well done, and that's we Josh did that a lot of the time. At times he dribbled, but couldn't get the pass through the lines. It was a bit harder at times. I will show you those examples. Um, show you those examples. Let's see the block as well. Um, we saw more examples. See how compact the block is. See how they're following their man, and it was annoying a bit. We didn't have a left centre back, so it would be harder for Chalobah to get these balls in between the lines a bit more with his left foot. So we saw examples of that, and examples where we would miss someone like Badeshiu or Cole at left centre back. So an example where we tried to break the lines, when we did have those automatisms and created space for Enzo and Palmer to receive. Yeah, Josh tried to play this pass in, but he did not get the pass right, and we lost the ball. So I think this really affected him later on, because we could see that he was a bit more conservative after that. And yeah, we also see Enzo free. I think if we walked the ball a bit quicker, Saliba's left leg, I think a left footer is a bit of a squeeze. Of course, I'm not one to just say, okay, he has to find this guy because on the pitch, it has to be, the pass has to be on, basically. So, but this is not easy for a right footer to do in this instance. That's what we missed from a left footer, basically, in this game. And uh, if a left footer was available, maybe it would have been a bit more easier. So see Chalobah trying this pass as well into Caicedo, and he misses the pass. The pass was hit, and you could see Caicedo lost the ball, or he was not even able to get to the ball, to be honest. So that is what we suffered in terms of not having a left centre back. Here again as well, we could see this. Um, as well. So the left footer might be able to easily punch this ball here to draw Pedro, but that is the limitation of having a right-footed centre back there. So we just have to have Badeshiu back at least. I think we would have him back as soon as possible. So see Josh here as well trying to dribble around. Um, Arteta as they always did. So, but this is where after probably he missed that pass in the first half, he couldn't really do much of. Two options here, a bit hard to play, of course, but I think with more training in this role, you'll be able to have the confidence to do that, and understand Palmer's movements a bit more through the lines, which Lavia does as well. And I think if that happens, we could see here Palmer gestured to have the ball, but he didn't get it. Um, Correa's pass was on as well. So those are the issues, a few of the issues we had. But it's not as if we didn't have, see it again. Yeah, it's not as if we didn't have moments where we did break through. Well, here we see it again. Yeah, this pass, Lavia plays it. So, but it's not everyone that's a Lavia. It's not everyone that's a Cole. So I won't really um hate Josh much, to be honest, because he had a very good performance. We'll get onto that. So yeah, that's concerning the press. And yeah, we try to get past it a lot of the time. So how do we do that? With, like I said, if we went to the tactics board again, through balls from Reese into Joao Pedro. This kind of balls where Joao Pedro can be able to attack. So and take advantage of this space, especially when Gay pressed Enzo. So here we see that that pass was on here for Reese. Reese played this ball in behind for Joao Pedro, and Joao Pedro was able to latch onto the ball. I don't think a, a very cohesive chance was created from this, but that's an example of how we tried to bypass this. And again, you can see Chalobah with this beautiful floated ball for Neto in behind. Very, very good pass. Neto also tried to make something of it. Um, yeah, we see Neto got onto the ball and put the ball in the box, but nobody was able to take advantage, to be honest. So, as well as those, we could also see Chelsea broke through a few times, and here this is when Palace's press was bypassed, and this is when Richards could not really get onto Where really quickly. So this ball is on Caicedo, who actually did a lot of line breaking, to be honest. Oh, no, I mean, Rhys James. Yeah, but we'll get onto Caicedo. But James is one that made this pass to Kukurea, and we could see it here. Just see how we did that. Yep, Kukurea got the ball, walked it to Pedro. We were able to walk it to Jamie Gittins, who had a 1v1 here. So another opportunity that we talk about is the way it was created by Neto this time. Neto dribbles. Um, Here we see Neto. Let me just like this quickly. Neto here. Yep. So Neto comes in here like this, dribbles inside, and is able to dribble inside, get the ball to Kukurea, and we attack. Yeah, Kukurea is free and gets the ball to Jamie Gittins, who I think could have been more efficient in these positions. Here he has support. I can complain. And at times he did not have support, but here he had support and he needed to do better with this ball as well. So that's moments where we broke through. Let's see if you have more moments. Yeah, Caicedo, like I said, ball through the lines to Palmer. Yeah, this ball hit with venom, very good. And through the lines to Palmer. And here we see Palmer receiving the ball on the half turn, passing the ball to Joe Pedro, who also gives the ball to Jamie Gittins. But I think in this instance, we see here, I think there is a little mistake here because this ball is very much on, and Joe Pedro has the ability to play this ball. Um, from the match and from the video because this is a standstill image, so it could deceive. But the ball was definitely on for Kukurea, and I think he delayed it a bit more than he should have. So those are the little chances or little things that we could have done to create more, even more chances. And yeah, we also see this instance where um, Reese found Korea here, and I think we should have done much better from this position. Neto got the ball in behind and tried to do a curve turn, so could not get the ball. So we could not do anything that chance. So let's see again another moment where we broke quickly. Palace a bit haphazard in their press now. The ball gets to Palmer, back to Caicedo, who then gives this pass to Enzo. Um, yeah, so we broke quickly here. So here, Enzo finds Neto to Joao Pedro, and Joao Pedro gives it back to Enzo, whose cross was actually dreadful. So um, this moments where we could have done better, very terrible cross from Enzo. He didn't really look fit yesterday. So those are the issues that we faced. Another thing I noticed was the fact that we did a lot of long balls to um, from um, from Sanchez. Sanchez did a lot of this, and a lot of the players are on their bikes, as you can see. All of them are trying to make this run. So those are the kind of things that I think we will see a lot of this season, trying to take advantage of teams like this. And Neto gets here, and I think with the video, watching the video, Neto takes a bit too long to set himself because this pass is definitely on very quickly. And if he takes notice and plays the ball really quickly, he is able to create a big chance, similar to the chance he created for Jackson, the assist for Jackson against Newcastle last season. So um, that's when we broke quickly. Then see another moment here when we broke quickly in the second half because we did have this moment and um, we tried to just take advantage of it, but technical errors like here, Enzo was meant to play this ball to Joe Pedro, but instead Enzo doesn't, and we actually missed the chance to break even quickly, even more quickly. So we saw a lot of this in the second half as well. And second half, we tried a lot of long balls, and I will show you. the one we did, especially with the lap. The lap when he came on was very, very effective with his long balls. We're very good with them. This is he and Lacroix and as well. So if we go, we see that he wins this battle very strong, holds up the play, and he did that a lot of the time. So here we see it again. Let's circle this with Lacroix and Lap, and very, and it seems like Andre Santos understands that Delap has to get the ball one time very quickly because he always does that. So gives Delap the ball and very early, and Delap manages to use Lacroix against himself and turn him, but he should have done much better with the shot here. And he had a shot which we know Delap can deliver, and this is a very good half chance for a striker like this. And we see it again, very great ball from Kais. No, in this is Chaloba, yes, that plays this ball into um the lap here. Here we go into the lap into corner. Great run from the lap, and he was able to get onto the ball and late for Kukurea. If we see it in the next frame, oops, we see it in the next frame. Let me remove this. Yep, yeah, lays it off for Kukurea. Kukurea cut back for Santos, and he did this as Strasbourg arrived late in the box, but needed to have the composure to be able to put it in the net. Blazes it over the bar. This was like the biggest chance. Enzo, I don't know if Enzo now could score it because of he was not fit. Well, yeah, I think Enzo at the end of last season definitely was going to be able to set himself and get this ball into the net because he gained that composure in the box. And yeah, we did have chances, and those are the chances where we broke quickly. So let's quickly talk about Acheampong. Yeah, we'll get to the stats soon, but it really handled Mateta really well, really well. Won five of his seven duels in the air, won four of his five duels on the ground, and against Mateta, a very Premier League striker, and gives any centre back a problem. And here he's still hard to handle physically, even for Josh. Josh is not as strong as him, but he still manages to he lays the ball off here, Mateta for Munoz. So Munoz makes the run, he lays the ball off there for Munoz. And here we see Mateta. I mean, yeah, Munoz tries to get past Josh, but long limbs. The limbs really fast, and he got to the ball and got to the ball even before Mateta wins the foul. Very, very good piece of play from Josh. Top piece of play. Such a talent. So you see that from Josh. Let's see another instance where Josh is man on man with Mateta again. Mateta trying to use his strength. Josh uses his strength very well. Yeah. And yeah, we see Josh being able to get the ball here from Mateta as well. So very, very well done from Josh here. So let's see again. Um, this time they're grappling again for the ball, and yeah, they're grappling again for the ball. And here we see that Mateta did get the better of Josh here, but not enough to be able to do more than a long shot from a hopeful long shot. Um, from distance. And here we see again uh, Josh and Mateta. Josh wins this aerial duel again and wins the ball and was able to guide the ball away from Mateta. Great ball area duel. He's very tall and he seems to now know how to use his heights and heading. So yeah, this is very top performance from Josh. even though we saw some struggles with the ball progression, which I think he will improve. Here we see from Josh's performance, and really had a top performance, especially dealing with Mateta as we've seen, and especially here, see if you see the ground duels, the air duels won 4/5 ground duels, one area duels 5/7, top performances, especially against a seasoned um, Premier League striker, basically. So that is top from Josh. You can see here as well. Accurate passes, very clean. He could make a few mistakes, which is nothing unheard of from a young 19-year-old centre back. And it's just game time. Just give this guy some game time. Give him some more training at central centre back, and this guy will cook. He will cook honestly, and that's what Josh is about. To be honest, that's what Josh is about. So there's something also we need to get through. Um, yes, this tactical trick from Maresca at um second half, but it actually kind of happened late, too late for my liking. Um, but he did find a solution, and this is Caicedo at right centre back. And at this moment, when Caicedo was there, Reese made this um, position himself here, and Caicedo um, became the de facto right centre back basically. And because Caicedo, like I said before, was one that was able to make those um, balls between the lines, punch those balls in between the lines when centre backs became afraid to, probably after their mistakes. But it was where we created this top chance. Palmer received the ball from Korea as well here, and um, tried to find Esteval. What a run! What a run this is from Esteval. Like I said, efficiency in touches. Apart from that, this is a Salah-like run, out to in, catches Mitchell off guard, and tries to make this run in between from here, and it was able to catch, um, but Palmer could not really get this pass through, and that was the only thing that failed about this move because great movement from Esteval, wasn't able to get the ball. I think he still put in a cross. Caicedo again. This time Gusto was on the pitch. You will see here Caicedo on the ball, right centre back. Gusto was on the pitch this time. Made that run into this space, and this is the pass again he's looking for between the lines. This is Gusto coming from occupying this space here as well. So, and this time Santos is the one that is between the lines here, and here we see it's in play. Yep, and here we see Kukurea receives the ball, tries to give the lap, but this went for a goal kick. But just an example to show how they did it. If we show it on the tactics board, we see it here. Um, this pass from Caicedo, great pass because Caicedo breaks the line really well, and something that Lavia could do as well. Where finds Palmer, tries to find Esteval, and we didn't get that. But what a run from Esteval too as well. So that's, I wish we did it a bit more earlier in the game. Um, yeah, that's probably most of the game. We should cover it like that. And we just to go about um positives. Of course, Josh, huge positive. Um, managed Mateta really well, handled him well. Few times he could not, and that's fine. But top performance from Josh, um, who's like competing for my man of the match performance. with Caicedo, who had a man of the match performance as well, breaking up play, initiating attacks, breaking lines. It's not easy to break lines against Palace, so don't even harp on Josh too much for that as well. He would train a bit more at the role because I'm sure he wasn't previously because Colwill and Tosin usually play that role, even by the shield. So those are the kind of things you'll be able to understand in this system and apply. Saliba had a decent performance despite the fact that he was playing at odd angles at left centre back as a right footer. So he did try to break the lines as well at times. It wasn't easy with Palace's block. Uh, Kukurea, decent performance, nothing special much. Could have handled a few attacking positions a bit better. Gittins could have been better as well. Efficiency in touches, Neto, um, decent trying to get past his man, can do a bit more as well, but it wasn't easy in this game. Enzo needs to be fit. Had a terrible performance, if I was being honest. Um, and I don't think it should stay like that for long. Let's see how it goes as he becomes fitter. James looks fit. He looks really good. He looks fit, and more games in the belts. And I think we'll definitely see James in positions to cross. He was in positions to cross in this game, and his crosses were good. Sanchez a bit mid. Um, Came out for a few crosses, but didn't really get onto them as quickly as he normally can. Um, his long balls were decent, some off, some good, but it was threatening. Yeah, it did initiate a lot of fast attacks. So yeah, Sanchez on the ball there was it didn't really need to do a lot of short passes because well it wasn't pressed too much, but long passes a lot of it was good. I would say maybe 60 to 70% good. And if you look at Palmer, Palmer was starved of the ball basically. He didn't have enough of the ball. Um, tried to receive the ball between the lines, but we didn't. As defenders, couldn't really find him between the lines as he normally would. Um, Pedro was neat when he got the ball. He didn't also have lots of the ball. Um, Made runs in behind to take advantage of the space, and didn't really get much opportunities to shoot. Um, uh, let's see, because I think balls in the box is good at headers. He didn't really get much crosses to deal with. A few corners here or there, and I think he will definitely have better games. And Palace really made it hard for everyone. So I won't really say much bad. And this is not something to lose heads over because we actually um is that you can see that the preseason having just 2 games didn't really help. A lot of players need to get up to speed, and we will do that. The next game is against West Ham and Esteval, which I'll say Esteval Dilap, good performance off the bench. Esteval was very lively, and I would want to see him start against West Ham. Liam Delap too. I think he should start as well. If well, it's very. We could talk about that as well in the preview if we do a preview, but it's possible. But I think Delap really did well, especially when we gave him the ball very early to try and win against the centre backs. He won the battles really well and created a half chance for himself, but couldn't score. More chances, I think he'll score as well. So uh, not a bad performance, not a great one as well, but not a performance to lose heads over. We can and we will do definitely better than this. But that's it for now. Thank you for staying to the end. We'll do a lot more of this and dissecting tactics uh, one by one. And I hope you understood it. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Please like, subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. and even more better videos. This is my first, so we're definitely going to grow from here. Thank you very much.